All right. Good morning. This is Tuthill or KCOS 2020 on the forums, and this is a morning flight from Colorado Springs, Colorado to Kansas City, Missouri. So I've just turned on the batteries and had air traffic or ground services send out a external power truck. So that's as far as I've got. I did create the plan from the main menu. And I told myself this time, take a minute to look around the airport and get to know the airport. I'm trying to get to my drone camera here. And let's take a look at Colorado Springs Municipal Airport. All right. Somebody said, you need to appreciate the beauty of all these airports, man. They're not all the same. Anyway, it should be a lovely flight set for clear skies, a few clouds. These are lovely bay windows, by the way. I've been in there plenty of times. And the view out to Colorado Springs, they're fantastic. Pikes Peak in the distance. Parking lot is empty, so you have run of the plane. Not as grand as Denver, of course, or others, but, you know, she'll do. She does the trick. Oh, that was put in after 9/11. That's creepy. The barricades, thou shalt not pass. Kansas City is a really nice looking airport. It's going to be fun when we get there and have a look around that place. Tower out there. I suspect they'll be sending us out to that runway. Could be wrong. Get up in the air and kind of give you a look at the place. The layout. That's pretty good height right there. Okay, so that little cross runway right there. Then you got 17 left, 17 right, 35 left on that side, 35 right, 17 left. All right. So back in the plane. Let's go through our checklist. Well, let's now that we got the air traffic control or ground services contacted, let's get the baggage service going.
Colorado Springs ground, KCOS 2-1, could you please send the baggage?
KCOS 2-1 baggage is on the way.
We get our power supply. No, we've already done that. I meant the fuel supply. Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess we're done with the power anyway. Let's get our fuel supply.
Colorado Springs ground, KCOS 2-1, could you please send a fuel truck?
KCOS 2-1, a fuel truck is on the road.
Colorado Springs ground, KCOS 2-1, could you please send the catering truck?
KCOS 2-1, the catering truck is on the road.
Fantastic. Getting that all taken care of. You can see the services getting into place right there. There's catering. Getting set up at the tail end. There's the baggage cart getting ready to get into place. Okay. Love that little scissor lift on that catering truck over there. Little doors open. Nice. It's the little things, you know. Getting everything loaded. And fuel should be on the way. Hop over. He hasn't gotten here yet. All right, let's go inside and go through some more checklists. Okay, battery switches are on. External power, we've disconnected. The engine generators on, fault displayed. Fault is displayed. Couldn't find this one earlier. The bleed air switches. I'm gonna have to dig a little harder for that one.
Battery switches on.
Uh-oh. Is he gonna do it all? Thought it was just that one. Okay. APU master. There's our fuel. Yeah. Okay. This is kind of a refresher, though. I did my first refresher earlier. I have not been around for a while. Life, you know? Doesn't this thing have to go to... Doesn't this thing... I thought this thing counted down. Wait until APU starts, switch displays the available light. Okay, there it goes. So maybe I just wasn't seeing the timer there. Hear that firing up? Let's turn the power off. Fuel pumps. Beacon. And that is it. Okay, so now dismiss. Let's see if they've already gone. Yeah, it looks like everybody's out of way. Normally, yeah, I guess you don't have to dismiss these guys. Don't remember. It's been a while. Okay, fantastic. All right. There's a problem with the reverse thrust. Landing could be a little bit difficult when we get to Kansas City. For whatever reason, there's a bug in the earlier flight, refresher flight. It did not engage. Set start. Turn on 2. On 1. Check center console and wait for him to spool up. Something me and owner forgot to do. Get our people on board.
Colorado
Probably should have got them
Springs
on
ground,
board
Kineas
first.
2-1, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Kineas
The aircraft.
jetway is going to be connected.
All right. It's magic. It's magic, I tell you. That beeping is our door ajar. So, stewardess, could you just ask for an expedited getting these people on board? Can we just teleport them like Star Trek? It is my imagination after all. Yeah, okay, let's just teleport them. Okay.
Colorado Springs ground, Kineas 2-1, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Great. All right, that concludes all of that. Go back to clearance and get out of here.
Colorado Springs ground, Kineas 2-1 IFR to Kansas City, ready to copy.
Kineas 2-1 is cleared to Kansas City Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 left climb and maintain
Yeah, 17
15,000
left.
feet. Departure frequency is 124.0 squawk 0424.
Kineas 2-1 cleared to Kansas City Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 left climb and maintain 15,000 feet. Departure on 124.0 squawk 0424.
Kineas 2-1 read back correct. Contact ground on 121.7. Good day.
I should be handling the radios myself. Last time, everything was bugged. You'd go mess with these and change your frequencies, and then nothing would work anymore. So I just shied away. And once we get going, I usually let the AI handle the radios so I'll try it later. Flight plan's already set up, like I said. I'm not going to be messing with the MCDU this time. If you're into that, let me know and we can, spend time manually messing with this thing.
Colorado Springs ground, Kineas 2-1 with India ready to taxi IFR.
Kineas 2-1 taxi to and hold short of runway 17 left via taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 1 Delta Alpha. Contact tower on 133.15 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 17 left using taxiway Foxtrot cross runway 1 Delta Alpha Kineas 2-1.
Now, once that has all been done and you've just gotten that clearance right there, okay, we can do this manually. I can back up and I can spin the plane around, and I'm sure there's a ribbon out there to direct me how to get to 17 left. Okay. But like me, sometimes a little bit lazy. You want to sip your coffee first thing in the morning, go over some things. You can always delegate this portion to the AI. So come up here. Now that it's been done, you've got your clearance. Now kick it in and wait a few seconds and see if he wakes up over there. I'm gonna imagine it's you over there. Well, your amazing expertise. Thank you for joining me on this flight, by the way. If you have any advice, if there's anything I'm doing wrong, I would appreciate your constructive criticism. So what you do is you come in here and you turn on AI piloting. And then we wait a few seconds to see if you'd like to take over and actually do this, or you refuse and we don't go anywhere, in which case I'll do it. Disengage the brake for you, see if that helps. So far, there you go. Should have gotten us a pushback, but looks like you've got it. Oh. Yeah, I should have given us a pushback. Oh, you're gonna squeeze right through there. Are you gonna run some people over? Ah. Are you gonna back up? You're just gonna plow through them. Yep, you're just gonna plow through them. That's okay. I'll teach them for not getting far enough away. They should know you by now. Oh, we're gonna mess up the paint. That's okay. That's one way to get a breakfast sandwich. First attempt of the day today to do a live stream. OBS just decided to freak out on me and was rapidly disconnecting and reconnecting. That was embarrassing. There's nothing like having to terminate a live stream. So with that, and we've gotten everything going, I do need to run and grab a cup of coffee. So thank you for taking the controls, and it shouldn't take me but a minute, and I'll be right back. Thank you. Somebody left our Hershey's chocolate bar back there with whole almonds. Well, I know the who. She's lovely. You're doing a fantastic job of taxiing, by the way. A little bit disorienting being at an angle. Sorry about that. I just realized my time must be wrong. I swore I set it for a morning flight. The sun's over there and that's impossible for a morning flight. I had it set for like 6:30 in the morning. I've been wondering this whole time. I'm like, yep, it does seem awfully bright. Doesn't seem right. I've made a mistake somewhere. I appreciate taxiing, and then some ways I don't appreciate taxiing. One, it's just long. And when you're flying, especially when you're a young person, you know, the anticipation to flying, the taxiing is like, pulling teeth. That's not the right way to explain it. But just the anticipation, you want to get in the air so bad. The taxiing is like, oh my God, does this take forever? And it does. But now that I'm learning all this stuff about flying, I'm looking at all the taxi signs, I'm looking at all the lights, I'm appreciating everything down to the surfaces of the runways, but paying attention to everything. And so I enjoy it much more now, and I don't mind the long taxis, but boy, could you make it further away? Did it need to be this far? I suppose they do. Engineers, you know. I truly appreciate you taking over the taxiing for this lake, and we get up to the crossroad right there. I'll take over. We will need to get our clearance. And right now they've done messed up something because you can't control. Take back over control. You cannot control the time and the weather at the moment. Something's broke. It would be an easy fix for me to change our time had that not been in the way. Okay. Turning off the AI piloting.
Colorado Springs Tower, Kinney is 2-1 at runway 17 left, ready for departure IFR to Kansas City.
Kinney is 2-1 altimeter 29.9 or 21262 and 7.
Okay.
Cleared for takeoff runway 17 left.
Our altimeter's fine.
For takeoff runway 17 left, Kinney is 2-1.
Don't need to muck with that. Stop right there. Let me go ahead and adjust some things. I don't know what they want, but oops. That's something else that's messed up right now. When you zoom in, okay, normally you use your center mouse wheel to press and hold to change your views. See, like that, it works. But every time you click it, it unzooms. That's what's broken. I've zoomed in. I'm going to click the center mouse wheel to change my, yeah, see, and it zooms out. So what you have to do now is use the center wheel for zooming pretty much only at the moment, and then use the right mouse button to go back and forth. So rotate this up. I'm going to give us like, 12, 13,000 feet to start when we engage the autopilot. Thinking ahead to our landing. Go ahead and set the brakes now to medium. It's probably going to be a fine landing. We don't even need them set to medium, but yeah, what the heck. All right. I want to mess with. Nothing there. Nope. I think we're good to go, sir. Here we go. And or madam. A little bit of a pull there. Not a little. That was pretty heavy. Engine seemed to be stabilized just fine, so rock in the runway or something. Is it about our liftoff speed here? Here we go. Oh, a little heavy from the fuel, so shouldn't load her up too fast. Shouldn't rush it. Oh, she wants to come down. Yeah, she's heavy. Okay. We'll raise our gear. Pops up.
2-1 contact Colorado Springs departure on 124.0.
Engage the autopilot and put the throttle into auto throttle. And hopefully we don't come crashing down. See if I did something wrong.
Last transmission.
Yes, I'm sorry.
4.0 Kinias 21.
Okay, good. We're climbing. We are turning. I'm so used to driving from Kansas City, from Colorado Springs to Kansas City and back and forth. I live about, I don't know, a couple miles from the airport, the Colorado Springs airport. I'm always usually taking off from here or Denver in my Microsoft simulator flights, or any simulator for that matter, really. So I live right over there. That away. Actually, it's more like right. Let's see. To be more specific. Well, in this vicinity. So you see I'm really close to the airport. So anyway, college. So from here, driving to Kansas City, Missouri, back and forth all the time. Sometimes you just want to go home for the weekend, you know, so just. That is, Kansas. And as we move out here east, it's just a lot of this. It's flat and straight. Now there's some nice twists and turns along the way, but not a whole lot to look at. It was entertaining, definitely during the 80s. There was still, I haven't been in a long time, but there used to be all those signs along the highway for unusual attractions or places you could stop along the way. That was always very entertaining. And then it becomes total madness once you cross all that and you enter Kansas City, and it becomes like it's crazy. Busy. First time I went in there, I was freaking out. Oh, the nice thing about this runway that we're going to be landing on is the 26 runway is that it's got a great little diversion in towards Kansas City. So we'll get to see Kansas City a little bit. We'll skirt along it, and then before we turn back and go back to the airport and head back in for our approach. So it's the only one that does that. I checked them all the different approaches. So I picked the perfect one for us. I really enjoy this paint job. I say that on every live stream, but I haven't done it in a while, so probably haven't heard me say it, but you can easily tell when you are icing because of the black paint job. Anytime you pick up any ice at all. You can also tell if you're icing. You're just sitting here and all of a sudden your airspeed indicator here starts freaking out and jumping up and down. Right in your altitude starts freaking out, and it looks like your plane is jumping up and down. Well, it's because you've picked up some ice. Well, next time you're flying, if it does that, jump outside real quick. Chances are you've got ice. What you do is you run up to your top panel here, turn on your de-icing. Not too far from the bottom because it's important. Here's your lights. And here it is right here, anti-ice. These four. Your wing, your engines, and your window. Something I've learned since the last flight earlier is that they have now implemented VOR2. Not that you fly these airliners VOR to VOR. You can. It's a lovely thing about flying these things manually. But only VOR1 was active for a long time. And now they have two of them. So if you plug in a VOR, the Sky Vector, either way, you do have two VORs you can work with now, and you can triangulate. So that's nice. Let me go ahead and get one. Let me go over to Sky Vector real quick. Pardon me a moment. I'll give you a nice view while I'm try to anyway. There you go. All right. Sky Vector. So we've taken off from Colorado Springs and we're probably past this point already. It's probably behind us, but maybe not. The Hugo VOR on 1121. So let's go into our cockpit. Into our radio nav button on our MCDU. Yep. 1121, right? Okay. You come down here and you press your nav, your radio nav button. Just a little bit more. Okay. And you punch in what you want. So in this case, 112.1, and you put it into your VOR. And maybe we'll get the readout. There it is in blue. See that? And we've now got the information displaying properly in the display. So we're just passing it. It now says HGO, the Hugo VOR. So if you wanted to, and you can also set the course. So it looks like we're to head towards it right now would be coming in at the, 180 or so. But let's say we wanted to come in on the 270 radial. You can come down here to your MCDU. You can also dial in the radial that you want. So let's say 270. And you plug that into course, the CRS option. Okay. Now you're going to see that the tells you where we would need to go and turn to get back to it to get to the 270 radial. All right, now VOR2. Let me grab another one here. Out on Sky Vector. Here's one. Here's Lamar. 1169. 169, plug that into VOR2. And now we have a VOR2. The thicker white one. You know, I'm not entirely sure what the thin white one is. It shows up with the VOR1. So watch this. Let me bump here to these switches and turn off. That extra one goes away. So with VOR1, I'm used to just it being in blue. And VOR2, the switch here, and turn it off. Turn it on. See, it's in white. And it does say LAA for Lamar down in the corner. And you get your, now we get a distance indicator, the DME, which is nice because this was not active for a long time. Okay, now what do we do with these? How do we, you know, how do they function? If I remember right, how do we, I don't, now that they're both working, I don't know how you make one active over the other. Maybe it's probably just whatever in VOR1. I don't know. So let's try this. You have to come up to, I believe, your heading indicator and put this into manual and turn on the localizer. Let's try it. Let's see what the plane is doing. Let's see. I don't think so. Was it auto or did we have to dial it in? That's what this is a refresher for me in a lot of ways. It's been a while since I've flown. It's not working. It's not auto going to one or the other, that's for sure. On. So that's something I'm going to have to mess with. To now learn how to make these active. Because I'm not at the moment remembering how to, or you are. All right. Well, let's see if I can get us back onto her. We haven't messed up our flight plan. It's like we're fine still. I've forgotten something. Oh well. Let's enjoy some scenery. So again, some things I'll be looking for in this video when I review it right after I'm done here. Earlier, I had a bitrate problem where any fast motion or changing transitions, like going from inside the cockpit to outside, was resulting in blurring. So hopefully I've got the bitrate set properly. And the colors, on bad advice, I was using the full RGB and they said you really shouldn't. It's going to result in darker, oversaturated color. So hopefully everything is looking better. I'll be looking for that. My desktop audio is working this time. You're actually hearing engine sounds and airplanes, the airplane noises. You're hearing air traffic control. On my first refresher, I was pausing in mid-sentence because air traffic control would kick in, but nobody was hearing that. So through this whole video, it was just me making these really weird, long, uncomfortable pauses in the middle of sentences. OBS looks fine. I'm not getting any bad reports from that. And it has, I'm using the OBS now to link directly to and start a stream within OBS to YouTube. Normally you launch a live stream from the Creator Studio, and OBS has implemented this new way to launch it and launch your live stream right from within OBS. And it's managing the chat now. It links the two, whatever, it links it. So I know that I haven't been broadcasting for a while and I'm a nobody and these are just my own little flights, but people do pop into them occasionally. So if you have popped in and you want to say hello, please use the chat and say hello. If you have any questions about flying, if I can help, I will. If I can answer any questions you might have about most anything using Microsoft Flight Simulator. These views are awful fun. Here, I'll leave it here for a few minutes. No, this one. That nice and quiet. So pardon me while I take another short little break and I leave you with your comfortable window seat here. And I will return in just a moment. Coming soon. I don't know what I'm hearing. I'm actually in my headphones. I'm hearing voices. It's not good. I mean, they could be in my head. I'm hearing voices, which is not good. But pardon me just a second. I want to come out to the sound options and crank the voices up because I'm actually hearing people talk in the background, and I'm wondering if it's a voices thing in the cockpit. I'm not sure what I'm hearing. It didn't change anything. I can't hear it any louder. There's absolutely an audio track running in the cabin here. It's like they've included subliminal messages, a subliminal track running in the background. You can barely hear it, but there's something there. Yeah, it's like two people talking. How strange. How very strange. I better go back and turn off the voices because the next time air traffic control kicks in, it's going to scare the bejesus out of us. We turn up miscellaneous for a moment. It does. Can you hear it? You can hear everybody. It's like an interior. How weird. Let me turn it up even more. It's not actually, like airplane accurate, but it is. I mean, there's something there. Let me turn this up now, the master volume, so you can hear this. Hear it now? You can hear it. All this time, and that's the very first time I'm catching this. A nice view. Magic. A strange little kidney twist there at the back. I know wing flex is a natural thing, you know, but it's still, you know, if you don't fully understand what's going on, you look out the window and you see these wings flexing, that's it's unnerving. Yeah. Very unnerving. I know people out there have worked on different add-ons that you can get for this, including like you know, messages, you know, the in-flight services like stand by as we bring you your snacks and stuff. I'm sorry, this flight doesn't currently have any services, but you're free to roam about and do whatever you want. Raid the galley if you're hungry. Somebody's been messing with the controls since we've been out. Look at that, all the waypoints showed up, or I've got it turned on. I must have. Well, those are all the VORs. Wow, no. Yes. No, those are all the waypoints. No, they're VORs. They're 3. Holy moly. Yeah, those are all the VORs. That's one thing you can do too, is you can go direct to, use the direct to function So if you had to make a change, ILS. And those back on. So Hayes, Kansas is up ahead, I see. HYS. What is their frequency? Using Sky Vector. One 104. See if it changes to HYS. It does. I want the. Let's try the 270. It's already in there. I wish I could remember at the moment what the heck, how the heck, get it to follow a VOR. I don't remember having to course adjust every time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we did, but I thought there was a way to make it lock to the VOR and go to it. So now we're going around the other side of it. Let's change this to like 300. Yeah. See what it does here if anything, once we cross. Probably nothing, but we'll know in a moment. No, it's not going to take the VOR. Or is it? So it's going outbound. So let me try 90. It's 300 still. Oops. So, if things are working right, then the plane is trying to head to the Hayes VOR on the 90 radial. It's actually heading in inbound, but it's following the outbound radial, the 90. If that makes any sense at all. So close to it, I should probably switch to a different VOR. Slow us down for a minute. Don't want that. I wonder if on some planes you can just punch it in and dial it instead of rotating the knob. Honestly can't tell what she's doing, if she's trying to acquire the VOR or she's trying to get back onto the GPS course. Okay. The 180. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be following the flight plan. Pre-show. No, I can't tell. It was like she was trying there for a minute. It's like definitely she broke and spun around. see what these people are up to. They're all whispering. There's a marker. They don't put the text really big. I mean, you see the marker out there. A way to adjust those. Get a big printout. Lake Ted. The arrow. This is Lake Ted. Hey. I don't know if that's the lake name or not. It's Lake Ted right at the moment. It's gonna be so wonderful when they have if they release interiors, so I can, you know, you're locked to this view in this window. If there was a way to move around, I'd be moving around the camera, but you're locked to these window views like this. So it'll be nice. Hopefully they one of the more interesting ideas is the idea to do passengers. If you look at the number of people watching the YouTube videos of flights that are just like this, there's no, the pilots don't interact. They just do a flight and they film the whole thing from pretty much this perspective. And people are watching them. So there's an interest in people that want to just have a flight running. So how cool would it be if they had a little bit more control, an app or a way for them to, let's say you were following me and you wanted to, and I'm doing a flight and you wanted to jump into one of my flights, you could take a seat. Maybe even have a social environment and activities or things that we could do to interact with each other from a pilot to a passenger perspective. Things that you could see. Maybe you could see the airline people. I mean, we're entering a really weird simulation, but everything is possible these days. Seems like, well, that'd be a silly use of resources, some might say. But, you know, today's today, tomorrow's tomorrow. You know, the idea of doing this right now and all this computing power that's going on in the background behind this simulator was just, come on, that's Star Trek. There's, you know, that's a groovy idea, bringing all these different sources of data together to create a simulated world and let people fly simulators. It's like, oh, you know, it's holodeck stuff. But here we are. There's a Beatles documentary out now from Pete Jackson, the Get Back documentary on Disney Plus. The immortal words of John Lennon: "There are no problems, only solutions." Hey, we're making a turn. Let's hop back in there and see what it's doing. Is it turning onto the Hayes 180 VOR? Or is it going to continue on the flight plan? I think it's actually doing it. It's gonna, are you really gonna work? Success. We have remembered how to VOR to VOR. Excellent. Most excellent. I always like stopping in Hayes anyway. Got a ticket there once. It's a love-hate thing. But it was good, always a good place to stop. I know I've already told you how I would do a lot of road trips. All right, so that's how that's done. Now let's see if we can, all we need to do is turn off the localizer, right? And it should get back onto our flight plan. Easy as that. Some educational value this live stream. Okay, another reason why you want Sky Vector. Air traffic control doesn't always you at the elevations you need to be for your ILS intercept. Okay, so coming back to Sky Vector, I'm going to type in KMCI up here in the search. Okay, and that should center up Kansas City International right there. You hover over or click on the pin, get this drop down. You know what? I realized that I had that all the way up so you could hear the forgive me, now it's super loud. We had everything cranked up so we could hear the interior. And now I'm being deafened. So we know that there is voices now back there. And you turn up aircraft miscellaneous all the way to hear those voices. More educational value for your buck on this live stream. Okay. So we're going to be coming in on the ILS 27 approach. ILS runway 27. Oh. Back over here. Let me do that again. I typed in KMCI up here. It doesn't give you the whole window. It's like zoomed in. You don't see entirely what I see. How was that? Let's see. Okay, it was a scaling problem. One moment, and I'll have the scaling problem resolved. Okay, that's better. At least you can see the upper part now up here. So the search is up here in the corner. Type in KMCI. That centers on KMCI. Hover over the dot, click on it, or right click. And if you hover over the Kansas City airport link there, you'll get all the PDFs available for the airport. We're coming in for runway 27. So here's ILS, or localizer runway 27 procedures, the instrument approach procedures. Blow this up. Okay. The frequency 1097. When you create a flight plan from the main menu of the simulator, it will set that up for you in the Airbus computer, the MCDU. It'll set up the ILS and you don't have to worry about it. If we were going to input this manually, (1097), okay, we would come down here to our radio nav again. See ILS right here? It's already got it in there, 1097. So if we had to, let's say they cancel that runway approach at the last minute and they direct us to another runway and we want to still do an ILS, we would need to pull up the frequency for that particular runway and then punch it in real fast, 10970. Okay, back to Sky Vector. Okay. What I'm looking for is, I like the profile, the side profile at the bottom here. Really easy to read. And what we're looking for is right here where X marks the spot. 2,600 feet is where we really need to be. uh, to hit that approach button on our console. So these are all the waypoints that we're going to be coming in. We're going to be looking for Carb, Slims, Taggart, Tika, Phobin, Gary. And by Phobin, that's our point. So at Carb, 6,000 feet, Slims, 5,000 feet, Taggart, 4,000 feet. So it's just progression down to 6. Okay. Air traffic control is pretty good about getting us down to the proper altitudes as we approach. Okay. Check the flight plan. Sometimes it populates in the proper altitudes in your flight plan. Sometimes it does not. So let me try to find those waypoints as we're going here. Down is up and up is down in the MCDU. So we have a few to go still. There's Carb. And I don't have an altitude. Slims. There, the decel for 4,050. Tika. I really don't have anything. I know that there is a way to input the proper. You can come in and edit these and put it in. Right now, can't remember. So we'll pay attention as they start bringing us down and directing us down. We'll just make sure that by the time we hit this Phobin here, we'll be thinking 2,600 feet. So we're back up here at we're a ways back still. We're at Kotza. We don't need our VOR stuff anymore, so click off the VOR display. And zoom in just to keep our, we don't need our VOR stuff on or either. When I went to go get coffee earlier, there wasn't any. I just grabbed a quick drink and but I did put on some. So I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. Again, it shouldn't take but a minute. I'll check the chat. If you need a cup, just let me know. I'm looking at the playback in the OBS and it still seems oversaturated color wise. I mean, greatly oversaturated. So I don't. That is proper. Time mark here. Now I need to remember how to. Man, OBS has some amazingly advanced features. I'm looking at the filters that I need to mess with color correction. And not only that is they've got a chroma key option, color correction, color key, crop pad, image mask blend, luma keys, render delay, scaling aspect ratio, scrolls and sharpens. Let me see about the color correction here. Specify the name of the filter, color correction. Excuse me. I've got a gamma, contrast, saturation, hue shift. It just looks maybe like the gamma. I don't know. Maybe it's the saturation, but that seems awfully low. We'll see that it's applying it. I wonder if you have to apply first. Because I'm not noticing anything. Seeing a radical difference here. Huh. Didn't seem to be applying it. No, I don't see anything. Right. No, that's the one we need. But it's not adjusting anything. Oh, so I went to go get a cup of coffee and silly me, I had put water in it. Didn't turn it on. Maybe I have to have a specific window to get the filter to kick in. Try this. This filter. Aha ha ha. I think I've gotten some. The gamma. Man, this is a tough one. So definitely seems oversaturated. That feels more like what I'm seeing on my end. But now, I was just trying to match my screen and what they have here, what the preview was. Either way, it seems to be rendering now the way I'm seeing it. They've got this film grain going on in here, and people are trying to figure out how to turn it off. And I don't know if there's an option in the settings, but if you look at the window, you've probably noticed it this whole time. That film grain rippling effect going on in the window. Could be a combination of other things like anti-aliasing settings or something, but people are saying it's related to a cloud grain thing. I'm not entirely sure. I don't. But that's something else to try to work out, is figure out where it's at, what settings might be causing this, and try to work this out. I don't see it pronounced outside the window. Just here really strong on the interior surfaces here. Magic. Excuse me. Oh, winter's finally showing up. It's been delayed here for whatever reason. We haven't gotten any snow yet. Tomorrow's high is going to be 35 though, so we're going into a cold spell. It's almost torture to get the cold and not have any snow. Putting in our miles today. There's the most miles we've put in a while. Steel City. There certainly are some lovely places out here in Kansas. Those small little towns are best. Unless you run into like Children of the Corn Village. But usually any little small town, if you're into that kind of thing, is just awesome. Grew up in the city, but then as a teenager, we moved out to the country, mostly, you know, and it was a small place, and then it just took off. It's not small at all anymore. But anyway, I love the, pardon me, fingers went a little crazy, I'm jacking with the camera. I love the small towns, you know. Scariest thing ever, though, is driving across all this flat terrain from Kansas back to Colorado underneath a lightning storm. There was so much lightning all around. It was just, I just figured it was a matter of any moment. There was so much lightning everywhere around me that I figured the odds were completely against me and that I would not make it through without getting hit once or more. I managed not to, but I don't know how. That's happened to me twice in my life, getting caught on a stretch of road, and there's nowhere to go. There's no cover. It's just a straight line, and there's nothing, no services, no nothing. There's no safety. You just have to keep going. No bueno. Hard to believe another year. Another year, folks. I haven't put in a whole lot of time on YouTube, considering I've been on YouTube since like 2006. I don't have a whole lot to show for it. I was demonetized for 14 years. But that kind of took the wind out of my sails for a long time. And they've recently done it again. Either somebody or an algorithm had an exception to something. And I'm currently demonetized again. Temporarily, I can reappeal in a couple of weeks. Hopefully it's just a meta tag thing. You know, some way back when, the last time I was streaming a lot, you know, doing multiple streams a day and sometimes being really lazy about editing metadata. And I just hope that's all it is, because it was so good to be back in YouTube's graces and back in the fold. And you know, during the pandemic, every little bit of money helps. I'm not one for GoFundMe's or any of that kind of stuff. Maybe I would be smarter if I was, but I'm not. And, you know, so having my YouTube channel was just a way to make a little bit, a very little bit, believe me. But, you know, anything is better than nothing. And so I was so happy that after 14 years we had finally worked everything out, and you know, I was back in the loop. And now I'm out of the loop again. And right now, again, getting back into live streaming, and now I've got several creative projects that have been requested, and all original content, music, video stuff. So would really like to work this out. Any help you can give me, if you haven't liked or subscribed, please, please, please. I could really use the help right now. I am, as you can see my numbers, I am very small. And I don't know that I'll ever be a huge account. Ever. Maybe these music videos that I'm working on will help change that a little bit, but probably not. So every little bit helps. Every like and subscribe. I've lost a few subscribers recently because I haven't done anything in all these issues. Okay, let's find out where we're at. We are at PWE. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more waypoints, and we're pretty much at our approach. Starting to see some of these altitudes populate. Flight level 23, 12. We're really underneath our prescribed altitude, or our prescribed. I feel like we have missed some air traffic control.
Minneapolis Center, Kineas 2-1 is at 12,000 feet, climbing 15,000.
They want us at 15.
Kineas 2-1 Minneapolis Center altimeter 29.902 continue to Puckle Whiskey Echo as planned. Kineas 2-1 climb and maintain flight level 190.
Yeah, we were supposed to be at much higher. Well, heck, we'll do what they say. I like how she's saying, instead of like the AI and saying PWE, she's saying Papa Whiskey Echo.
2-1 acknowledge last transmission.
Aye, aye, aye.
Climb and maintain flight level 190, Kineas 2-1.
Okay. Climbing. Trying to get us in that sweet spot. It's a good view right there.
Minneapolis Center, Kineas 2-1 is passing flight level 190, climbing flight level 190.
Kineas 2-1 Minneapolis Center, continue to ASIAX as planned. Kineas 2-1 climb and maintain flight level 290.
Man, we're gonna be coming straight down. They've got us climbing so high and we're almost there. And then we're gonna have to take this humongous plunge from 29,000 feet all the way back down.
Kineas 2-1, please acknowledge.
You know, we'll go ahead and do it, but I'm gonna request a flight level change.
Kineas 2-1. Minneapolis Center, Kineas 2-1. Request flight level 270.
Kineas 2-1 climb and maintain flight level 250. Expect flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 250.
Oh, did I ask for an increase?
70 Kineas 2-1.
Whoops. No, a decrease.
Minneapolis Center, Kineas 2-1. Request 17,000 feet.
Kineas 2-1 descend and maintain 17,000 feet.
Descend and maintain 17,000 feet, Kineas 2-1.
Kineas 2-1 descend and maintain flight level 190.
Descend and maintain flight level 190, Kineas.
They want us at 19.
Minneapolis Center, Kineas 2-1. Request 7,000 feet.
Kineas 2-1 descend and maintain flight level 190. Expect 7,000 feet.
Try that.
Descend and maintain flight level 190. Expect 7,000 feet, Kineas 2-1.
See, they're telling me to descend and maintain 19, but expect 7,000. I really don't understand that language. Descend and maintain, but we're already below that, but expect 7,000. I want 7,000. To make a wicked turn here in a moment. Zoom out on our flight plan to see what's going on up ahead. We're almost there, see? Swinging into view.
Kineas 2-1, you are 1,700 feet below your assigned altitude. Climb and maintain flight level 190, altimeter 29.902.
No. No. Need to get this worked out.
Climb and maintain flight level 190, Kineas 2-1.
Kineas 2-1, contact Kansas City Center on 127.9er. Good day.
127.9er for Kineas 2-1. Kansas City Center, Kineas 2-1 is passing 15,200 feet, climbing flight level 190.
Kineas 2-1, Kansas City Center, altimeter 29.902. Continue to John as planned.
Kansas City Center, Kineas 2-1.
Oh, I don't want to go that low.
Minus 3,000 feet.
Huh.
Kineas 2-1, request denied.
Don't want me down. No, not that one.
Phineas 2-1 request denied. Phineas 2-1, please expedite your climb flight level 190.
Lovely. I'm glad we caught it at I wanted a morning flight and I messed up something, but it's nice getting this particular time of day, evening. So maybe it was set for 6 p.m. Something there. By the way, it's very nice to get the sunset colors.
Phineas 2-1, please expedite your climb flight level 190.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. That's fantastic. It's the colors I was shooting for with the cover art. The oranges.
Phineas 2-1, please expedite your climb flight level 190.
Distant.
Kansas City Center and Kineas 2-1. Request minus 3,000 feet.
It's wrong. They got me.
Phineas 2-1 request denied.
Sorry about that. As captain of this plane, I'm invoking my executive privilege. I'm in control. It's my flight. No. That grainy effect that we had going on earlier inside the window. Now I'm seeing the exterior wing light flash on the interior of the, and I'm not noticing that grain so hard right now.
Kenny is 2-1, please expedite your climb flight level 190.
See some of these water bodies out here. Rush. That's neat. Getting close. That is lovely. Lewis and Clark Village. Now that's cool. That'd be a nice little watering hole. I wonder when they were crossing in this, if they were thinking to themselves, man, if the rest of the way is as nice as this, it'll take us no time to get to the coast. And then they get to Colorado and hit the Rocky Mountains and the whole stretch of mountains. And then life became a nightmare. Not that traveling across all this stuff wasn't brought with its own dangers. You know, or just wear and tear on the clothing, yada, yada, yada. But man, once they hit Colorado, oh, world of hurt. And it just didn't get any better from there on out. And then they were probably just wishing that it would have been more of this. Because when you come all the way out from the East Coast, it's like this the whole way. You're like, oh man, doesn't seem to end, but at least it's relatively flat. Oh, she's so mad at me. She terminated my. I was talking so much, she got so mad. We have to refile our flight plan.
Kansas City approach, Kinias 2-1 is type Airbus A20 and 5 miles northwest of Mike Oscar 517,000 feet. Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
Kinias 2-1 Kansas City approach. Squawk 1205.
Squawk 1205, Kinias 2-1.
Kinias 2-1 radar contact 4 miles north of Mike Oscar 517,000 feet. Cleared through the Bravo
Bravo airspace, Kenia's 2-1.
Oh, I'm not getting a refile. There we go.
Kansas City approach, Kenia's 212 miles north of Mike Oscar 51. Request IFR to Kansas City, ready to copy.
Kenia's 2-1 is cleared to Kansas City Airport as filed. Squawk 1205.
Kenia's 2-1 cleared to Kansas City Airport as filed. Squawk 1205.
Kenia's 2-1 read back correct. Radar contact 7,000 feet. Altimeter 29.9 continue to any turning and following heading 125 resume on navigation climb and maintain flight level 190.
Dang it, they want me up to 9,000 still too.
Continue to any turning and following heading 125. Proceed
I figured
on
once we
course 5,
reestablished,
maintain flight
they would be
level
cool with it,
190.
and they're
Kenia's
not.
2-1.
Kenia's 2-1 climb and maintain 9,000 feet.
That's better. We'll take it.
Kenia's 2-1, did you copy?
I did.
Climb and maintain 9,000 feet, Kenia's 2-1.
Kenia's 2-1, you are 6 miles north. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 27 approach via Alpha November X-ray transition. Cleared to Alpha November X-ray.
Okay, now we're getting close. And as we swing around here,
Kenia's 2-1 descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
oh, another one is down to 6. See what I mean? Trying to come down from 19, all of a sudden you're 6. It's just so Kansas City. I was hoping for this curve along here. A little cloudy, but
Kenia's 2-1 descend and maintain 6,000 feet.
some good times here, that's for sure. Hot and humid. My real first exposure to hot and humid, and there's so much water around that you know, this stuff anyway,
Kenia's 2-1, please acknowledge.
that, you know, the first ice storms I'd ever experienced.
Descend and maintain 6,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 27 approach via Alpha November X-ray transition. Cleared to Alpha November X-ray, Kenia's 2-1.
Kenia's 2-1, contact Kansas City approach on 120.905. Good day.
What was I doing out here, you ask? Living out here? College. I think I mentioned that at the start of the live stream. And Kansas City Art Institute.
Kenia's 2-1, did you hear my last transmission?
You guys are, in the future, I hope that they completely work out a more
120.9
automated way that, you know, the communications are more automated. Like you have an OK button. I mean, there's this chatters and sometimes such a pain in the butt. I'm sure that if you're a professional pilot, you're like, how dare you? You know, we live and die by these communications. Yeah, well, you know, unless it's absolutely necessary, it should, you know, at some point we could just do with automated. Something like letting the AI do what it's doing right now. Yeah, whatever. This is entirely too much chatter. These transferring of air bases too, like all, you know, everything's so regional. Well, air traffic control, you're being handed off here and handed off there. You turn around, you got to hand off back and then hand off back and answer with the right, you know, going to frequency. Have a good day. I don't talk to anybody that much on my phone ever. I'm not fond of bridges though, and having to cross a lot of these bridges moving around. Just I don't know what it is. Maybe I fell off a bridge in a past life or something. I don't know. Okay, where are we? We are there, folks. Almost. Look at this. Here we come. Here comes Carb. I haven't been back in a long time. I should go. But politics being as they are, kind of got on the outs. No, it really spoils so much. Politics spoils so much. So toxic. We're gonna make it completely, well, hopefully before the sun goes completely down, so we get a look at the airport. Sun is dropping fast. I don't know that we will. Yeah, well, we'll still look around. We can increase the brightness manually, I think. All right, we're in it. And by the time we hit slims, we need to be down to 5. We need to be at 4 by Taggart. And we need to start prepping for landing. Are we in auto throttle? Yeah, we are. That should calm down in just a moment. Oh, yeah. That would help. Here we go. Let's stop here. Okay, Taggart. Now we need to go down to 4. To Tika. That's a better view. I don't need the terrain on. Okay, is 3. Two 6 at Phobin.
2,500.
Like our altimeter's off now. That's wrong. All right, our glide slope centering up here. Make out the runway now. Still seem high. Something's off. Yeah, we seem way high for the approach. I'm turning her on. Turning on the approach. She's descending. Not sure what happened there.
1,000.
And this is going to be screwy again because the reverse thrust. This is difficult because I have to keep the runway in view and the throttle console in the screen because the reverse thrust isn't working and I have to do it manually down here. Seem to be going way fast too. No, we're right on the money. Right where we need to be.
400. 300. 200. 100.
Right, disengaging the autopilot.
40.
A little bit of a flare.
20.
Speed brakes.
Retard.
Down. Throttle. All the way back. All the way back. All right. We did it. What's up? Speed brake. Tracked. Yeah, that's fine. It did it. All right. Off the runway. Didn't get a clearance. No, we did not get a clearance to taxi. A moment, let me see if I missed something in ATC. No, it was just tune ground though. Nothing to taxi, so let me just go park it somewhere. It's probably a little too far forward, but we're here. We did it. Let's get our engines off. And is it going to end the flight? That's interesting. Normally it does not. You have to normally turn the batteries off for it to do that. That's interesting.
International ground, Kineas 2-1, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Kineas 2-1, we can't connect the jetway to the aircraft. Please retry later.
All right, well, ground service is kind of shot here, so that's fine. What we wanted to do though is now that we're here, I said I need to make sure we take a good look at the airport and use the drone camera, have a good look at each airport as we get to them. So let me now manually increase the brightness. More if it was because I'm not parked right. No, that maybe not close enough. Oh well. Okay, so check this place out. It's like a big donut. I like the way they've got this place set up. So when you come in and drive in, you do this big circle. Man, my fingers on the camera controls just suck. This is a cool airport. How posh. They got the tower out there in its own little garden area. Another little circular terminal. Realize it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse. It's even got a crooked little mouth there. Bottom. All right. Well, I greatly appreciate you taking this particular flight with me from Colorado Springs, Colorado to Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm going to go check out the live stream replay here shortly. Again, hopefully the bitrate issue was corrected. We've messed with the color correction. Hopefully we got that better. And I didn't have any disruptions this time at all. And checked out the airports. And made sure the desktop audio was working. We discovered that there's indeed voices in the cabin. So if you set your miscellaneous up, we verified that we now can use the VOR. VOR1 and 2 is working, and we actively got the plane to track to a radial. I think that about does it. So thanks again. I want to do one of these every day, or one at least. So tomorrow I might get a big burst of energy and we'll do like 15 of them. We'll just see how that goes. But I'd like to do at least one a day for the next week to get back into the swing of things and let you know about another one coming up that I'm doing. Jeju Island. Title. Monsters of Jeju Island. There's really no monsters in it. It's just for advertising purposes. You know, to drum up a little bit of excitement for what? The monsters? Okay. So keep your eyes open for that one. I don't believe that one's going to be a live stream. I think I have to do a lot of editing and audio editing and cutting things in and this and that. That'll be just a normal upload. So thanks for tuning in. I will be doing more, like I say, and I'll try to catch you tomorrow. Happy flying. This has been Tony T, KCOS 2020 on the forums. So have a good morning.